So sorry about the weird atmosphere. I'm just about to go to bed. Let me put on some music or something. I was just watching a video of a Zoomer kid talking about the whole like grind set thing and how you're supposed to work on yourself, up your value, or at least that's the philosophy is like work on yourself, be stoic, up your value, and then that should help you like find somebody. Because he was talking about that study that came out that says 63% of men between, I don't know what it is, it's like 20 and 30 or something, are single, and only 30% of women are in that bracket. But anyway, and the answer a lot of people have to that is, well, just work harder, just work harder, just up your value, just work harder. But to me, it's like really, and he makes a few points, but to me, it seems like there's really just there's like a boat, and it has a lot to do with financial competence, I guess, or whatever. And you either get on that boat or you don't. And if you don't, you don't. You just miss the boat. And so, anyways, he's like, he's like that advice about just work on yourself and then it'll all come together is kind of bullshit because, did your dad have to be this like stoic, uh, isolated worker for like years and years and years in order to earn the attention and commitment of your mom? No, it wasn't like that. He's like, it's really about a big chunk of it, more so, isn't about, I mean, I would say women are more shallow today than they were in the past and more like hypergamous, meaning like they'll more readily uh what is it called, cast away, whatever the word is, reject basically, because they have higher a higher ability to do so than men do. That's just how it works. But he was saying in the past it wasn't like that, and I agree. And but another point he makes is it's also about your social capital. And if you're just grinding and grinding and grinding, trying to up your resources, that's good, but what are you going to get to like your mid 30s, finally have your resources, but be a totally isolated person with no social capital and no social experience, like you've just been in isolation for a decade, that's not gonna, that might be, I mean, probably that will be enough to just totally disqualify you to most women. Um, and it's like a, to me, it's like a weird catch 22 because, uh, if that's, if these are the shallow things that you have to be checked off for women to even consider you in the first place. And then so that doesn't happen when you're young because you don't have anything. You don't have a lot of status. Um, and then you work on that and you get that finally, even though it's like miserable to do. It's fucking soul draining. uh, and then you finally get it, but because you were alone all this time, now you lack the social aspect of it, and that's equally unattractive. So it's kind of like you just traded one for the other. But the problem is, like, what are you supposed to do? Just like date a bunch of unattractive women that, or at least women you're not attracted to, endlessly, because the ones you are actually attracted to don't consider you to be high enough value. You're just supposed to go out there and keep dating women you're not interested in. So it's like, and then the ones you are interested in, you know, they just always look at you like, well, I think I'm pretty sure I could do better. And so they just ghost you. So it's like, I don't understand. You up your value to try to control for that. Maybe I won't get ghosted if she sees that I have, you know, a good job and money, basically. Um, but even that's maybe not the case anymore. Because hell, who are your friends? He said like, who would who would attend your wedding? Basically, once you finally do find somebody, once you finally settle, once you finally gotten to a place in your life where you are stable enough for a woman to actually, like a decent woman to actually be attracted to you enough to commit to you. Once that happens and not ghost you, basically, who's actually going to show up at your wedding? Because again, you haven't made any social connections. And, whatever. I don't really care if there's anybody at my wedding. Um, I mean, I'll have a few people, obviously, but that's assuming I even have a wedding. But, but, um, but yeah, there's the social aspect of it. It's like when your parents came up, there wasn't so much emphasis on like this everything, like the status stuff was always in the background, but it was not the primary focus. the way it kind of is today. Like, it seems like social media and whatnot, especially dating apps. Dating apps are brutal for society. Is just training people to see other people and like not socialize with them, but just like evaluate them for their for like these really cold metrics only and say, this person is, not worth my time or whatever. And I get along with anybody. Like, I don't think I'm doing that. I mean, I guess I'm not befriending homeless people, but I don't know. I think definitely with people who have made it, quote unquote, there's a status thing there and there's a class thing there, you know. Um and probably if I would have made it, I would have adopted that behavior too, you know. Uh I guess. But now that I haven't made it, I think I'm just part of this permanent, I think this like underclass sort of thing that I am now. Like, oh, Uncle Bob just got out of prison. You know what I mean? I'm like Uncle Bob who just got out of prison, basically. Except I'm kind of still in prison because I haven't made it yet. But even after I do, I'm still going to have that sort of mindset about me of like, I'm not really part of this normal. And I'm really only here. I'm really only here tepidly in a way, you know. It's not like I've built a career for 20 years and I'm committed to it. I'm just now getting into a spot where I can actually make enough money to live on. But it's still sort of washy. It's still sort of like I'm not even committed to doing this type of thing at all. I think I have a lot more of a, I don't know, like there's this thing of like sublimating yourself. And part of me thinks that I'm just like this, like, I must just have like a criminal mindset. Like, I don't mean that in like I'm a cool criminal or anything. I just mean like there's people that do very well going along with the flow and getting to the spots that they're expected to get into. And then there's other people that do not go with the flow at all and who end up in prison or homeless. And I think I'm of the latter camp because everything feels so foreign and inauthentic to me. Um, and I feel like I'm just, you know, playing along with it whenever I'm expected to socialize or be in a job. It's like I'm playing along. I'm playing work, and we're meant to believe that, like, you know, that sublimating yourself to that and just eating that inauthenticity, just eating that, just pushing it down, uh, and going with the flow, basically, is equals uh, maturity or whatever. And, I don't know if I buy that. There's a lot of immature people who have made it, quote unquote. Um, but, anyways, yeah, and going back to the thing about getting married, there's going to be a lack of us. For me, there's going to be an extreme lack of socializing. There's this idea of like you're supposed to build up social ability, which to me is also just kind of like one of these vague notions that social ability, what the fuck does that even mean? I mean, I can be me. I can be me. I understand there's a certain degree of tactfulness that you develop over time. Um, but he's like, well, you're not going to have that ability to like charm a lady because you didn't have all that experience. All you did was work on yourself to try to up your resources. And I don't know. A lot of times I feel like interacting interacting with women, it's like they're looking for me to do something or say something that I don't know what it is. What do you want me to do? Am I a comedian for you? Like, should I just be making you laugh? It's like I don't have anything to say. I don't have anything to riff off of because I'm so disinterested in everything around me. I'm not part of I don't I don't keep up with a lot of things that people keep up with. I don't watch movies, I don't watch television. And it's a chore for me usually to sit in to be part of conversations with people usually. And so that's another reason why I'm just like a lot of it has to do with my own disinterest in the first place, which I know doesn't help anything. I mean, I'm sitting here talking to a computer right now. this is my social, this is my social life. Um, you know, I feel like in the past there were cultural things just in the air that people could identify with and enjoy together that helped bring people together, that helped people be enthusiastic about whatever it is together and experience together and be present with each other. And that just doesn't exist anymore unless you just like force it, unless you just like insist on some random, you get into some kind of, hobby or whatever. But most things I'm just totally disinterested in. I enjoy music. Uh, and you know, I don't know, but yeah, I'm not gonna have that like always able to come up with some quippy comment, some like endearing, ingratiating joke or something at the right moment to like get people to not see me as like an alien. Everybody just sees me as an alien, so and at this point it's like, well, then I might as well be one. Um, I might as well be homeless. I might as well be a ex-convict because that's basically what I am in everybody's eyes anyway. And I find 99% of conversations like extremely, extremely just predictable and totally empty and uninteresting. It's like, why am I? It's kind of like conversations people have in the lobby before church. It's like totally, I don't know. I don't like hip hop. I don't keep up with things. I don't know any new artists because it's all shit now. And I don't know. So yeah, that doesn't bode well. Even if all this coding stuff I'm doing works out and I end up making good money finally, well, is that going to help? Or am I still just going to be an alien? I don't know. You know? Um, and two, I'm like, the only way I know how to talk to people is just to be nice in order to like get away from them and like end the interaction. Sort of like say nice things and say, uh huh, uh huh. And you can call that avoidant if you want, but it's really just total disinterest. But the problem is that method of like getting out of excruciating interactions like that it ends up giving them the impression that I'm just this really gullible, naive guy that can just you can just treat me with disrespect all you want because he's nice all the time. So let's just shit on him, you know? Not that I get shit on all the time, but like it winds up biting me in the back, biting me. Uh, because I'm really just trying to not have to be around these people. And that's the nice way to do it is just to be like, okay, cool, great, you know. But they don't understand. They don't understand what I'm doing. They just, I don't know what. Really, I look down on all of them. At least a lot of people here. Maybe I shouldn't, but when all they talk about is hunting and trucks and just obscene, lewd, dumbass conversation, and that's it. Well, they can treat me like I'm naive or whatever makes them feel good, but so I don't really take it to heart, but it's just like that's a side effect of that, I guess. So maybe I need to be less charitable. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but part of me, oh yeah, and then another thing is I've moved so much that I haven't put roots anywhere. So I don't know anybody. So, and that affects how easy it is for me to actually care about the next person I'm meeting in the first place. You're supposed to stay sort of in one spot and keep relationships going for a while. And I've just hopped around and hopped around. So now I just don't know anybody. And so that just adds more to the it's just me thing. So if I'm dating somebody and they go, "Well, who do you know? Well, who's your friends? What do if I can finally get past the hurdle of what do you do for a living comfortably, the next question is, well, it's not a direct question, but she's going to understand that, like, I'm a total isolated person that's not from here and doesn't have anything social capital wise. I basically only have my work and like two two people I know that I play music with, which is nice. It's a blessing. But one of them's a fucking dickhead. The other guy's cool, but the first guy is just I might have to lay down the law with that dude. But anyways, that's different. Anyway, I just don't want to stress about it. But I also think there's a good chance that just the trajectory I've been on, and even despite setting myself up, that I will still wind up by myself. And I don't want that to happen, but um, I don't see how it's not. I don't see what would change that other than, some serendipitous thing. Because I'm not going to go hang out at a bar by myself, online dating has just been ghosting and ghosting and ghosting and ghosting. Again, that's not with me having a coding career, but that's kind of a I'm putting all my eggs in that basket. And that's not good. It shouldn't all be in just a career basket. You're supposed to have several attractive parts of you, not just like, here's all my money. So yeah, it's like I don't know what to think anymore. Like, do I just become homeless? I don't know. I really don't know. Um, I guess that's all I had to say. Night, night.